So tell me, who is Jeremy?
Jeremy is the more introverted side of who LiveWith5 is. So I mean, I got my nickname J5 when I was younger. There was for all the youngins out there, I know you would know, but there's this movie that came out in the 90s called Blank Man, with starring Damon Wayans. He played a makeshift crime fighter, and all his gadgets and stuff had to be something that he made out of junk. So in doing that, he ended up making a robot out of a wash machine named J5. And my friends used to tease me with that nickname back in the day. Just when you're getting teased, you always try to find a way to like make it better on yourself. So I came up with this whole, I'm the 5th son that my father had, and my name began with J, but nobody really ran with that shit. It was like, nah, you the wash machine. So it is what it is. But growing up, man, I was just a laid back, cool kid, man. Like I had the blessing of having family in the DMV area, and also having family down here in North Carolina and in southern regions. So I was kind of like the best of both worlds, where, you know, DC, Baltimore, that area was a little tougher, and you had to learn how to get it in the mud, as they say. And down here in the South, things were a little more easygoing, where I had my grandparents at the time, and they taught me the values of life that I still hold to this day. I've always been more of an outlier though. Like, I never really fit in either scenario. Like when I would go back home to Baltimore, my friends there would be like, "Oh, look at the country dude back in town," like as if Baltimore is like some very northern place where, you know, it's just a northern southern town essentially is what it is, man. It's a little rough up there, I would say, of course. But so I mean, going home there or coming back down here and going to school in Wilson, North Carolina, everybody thought that was going to be like the great escape from Baltimore, but Wilson ended up being just as ratchet as Baltimore was. So there were, I was always just my friends who are my friends, you get a little bit older and they start doing things that you might not necessarily agree with, but they're your friends, so you got to stick with them. You know, before we even knew what colored bandanas meant, like we would just be outside around those individuals. So, you know, you learn a couple things the hard way. You know, luckily, the mistakes that I made didn't land me in jail, didn't land me, you know, in any significant amount of trouble. So I ended up moving back to Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore City College High School, my high school where I went to. Took me 45 minutes to get there every day, catching 2 buses and a train. So, you know, I stayed in Baltimore. I moved back for my senior year of high school. I did that, and I was at a crossroads because my grandfather, who I was really close to, was really sick at the time, and I didn't have the best relationship with my father. And one of the last things that my grandfather wanted me to do before he passed away was to rekindle a relationship with my father. So I kept that promise. I missed the fall semester of school. So my dad was like, "Why don't you just come down, live with me for a little while, find a job, get on your feet, and then you can go in for the spring semester of college, whatever college you want to go to." So I did that. Ended up at A&T, North Carolina A&T University, Aggie Pride all day. Got through freshman year and was going into sophomore year and didn't have a place to stay. Like, the housing department said they didn't have anywhere for me to go. So I spent 2 nights in my car and was still going to class, and was like, you know what, this isn't gonna work for me. So I ended up calling my older brother, who lived in Charlotte at the time, and he was like, "Bro, man, just pack your stuff up, come out here and stay with me." And that's exactly what I did. I picked up, woke up the next day, drove to Charlotte. it was on from there, man. I've been here ever since.
Well, that's a great story. So basically, you're just telling us that family is really important and really instilled to the man that you are today.
Absolutely.
But tell us more about what is the purpose of Live5.
You know, I created Livewith5 because I was tired of not following my dreams. Like, I've always had a passion for acting, so that's what I wanted to do. And I started with an iPhone and was doing skits in my car. Like, my first skit is actually in my car, and because I didn't have in the beginning, when it's just you, man, it's kind of hard to find people who want to do stuff like that. So you end up doing a lot of stuff on your own. So my first few skits were just by myself, just me acting as one person, playing another person, and creating skits that way. And then it came down to having to edit this video and learning how to do that. And you know, one day I just got on YouTube and was like, I got to figure out how to do this because it's just me. So I watched a bunch of videos of people who who were already doing this, and I learned how to edit. And in doing that, a love for editing came out of that, where I was like, man, this is so powerful that you can create these stories that the ones that you actually want to tell. You know, it's one thing to be in front of the camera, which I still love doing and still hope to do, but being behind it and being able to tell the kind of stories that you can tell and just get across the messages that you want to get across is super dope, man. So that's why it was created, along with just having the opportunity for people who needed a little exposure on their own. I wanted to be able to shed that light on whatever business or whatever opportunities they had going on. You know, a lot of people just, we come from just a society of being voiceless. So even though it's a camera, like, I feel like I can give a voice to the voiceless by shedding light on them. And that's exactly why I created this, not only for myself, but for others.
That's super dope, man. But tell us about what the journey to building Live5 has been like.
Rough, man, and not even just because of like external forces. Like, a lot of it has been with me and my growth. I can still be a very introverted individual where I just will stay within my own cocoon. But this journey with Livewith5 has shown me that there is another side of me, a more extroverted side of me, that can go into a room and not find a single stranger. So that's the side I've been wanting to embrace more. Just being able to stay consistent has been something that's been really rough. Just because, again, like, I have a few more people who like to get involved with what I'm doing, but the more I continue to grow this thing, the more people I hope will want to be a part of it and grow with me, and just continue to take this thing to another level. I feel like the talent is there. I feel like the opportunity is there. It's just a matter of seizing that. So
cool, man. So, what is the ultimate goal if there were no limitations towards what Live5 entertainment could be? What is your ultimate goal, and what is your ultimate vision of what Live5 would be?
I would have to say the ultimate goal is to make my own content, whether that be TV shows, movies, documentaries, just whatever the case may be. I love that we've gotten to a time within the society where we're starting to tell more Black stories. And those are the stories that we hardly ever get to see, or there are ones that are told by, we've been given consent to tell certain types of stories, the same old ones you see every day, from drug dealing to slavery to incarceration to, those same stereotypical Black stories. And I, for one, am somebody who wants to see something different. Like, there's so much more to being Black than just those things. And a lot of times if you turn on your TV right now and turn on Netflix, you're gonna see a bunch of white faces, and you're gonna see a few black faces sprinkled in between, telling those types of stories. And I, for one, am fed up with that. And, you know, my grandfather always told me that you have to be the change that you want to see. So I took that to heart, created my own production company, starting small, of course, but that's the ultimate goal, is to continue to make content that I'm proud of, that I feel like my friends and family would be proud of, and then taking it to the next level and really turning this content into media that can be consumed by larger groups of people. So that's the ultimate goal, man, is to hopefully I'll get more people involved, and people will want to grow with me, and the more exposure I get, the better and higher I can take this thing, man. So just looking forward to everything that's to come.
So speaking about everything that's to come, tell us what is next with Livewith5.